welcome to the garden. I've picked some of these dahlias and status, and this is columbine leaf. You know, sometimes the leaves at this time of year, even though the flowers were finished in spring, they actually are fantastic. And it's a good thing to keep an eye on of just what you can use. I'm going to put a few of these things in one of my very favorite bowls. I got it at a garage sale years ago, and I love this component to it because it's just so forgiving for things that are a little heavier. So I can't remember if she's Island Runner or Island, I can't remember all the names, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, we'll start with placing her in there. I've taken all of the leaves off the bottom, and I'm going to put this, I'll put this at an angle. These ones I grew for the first time. This was white. Where are we? The hydrangea, I want to get her in there. Isn't she beautiful? Get her kind of off to the side here a little too. Quite light and airy actually. And then I believe this is a Godetia. Can't really remember the name of this one. It's the first year that I've grown this. This is lemon balm, taken off the bottom leaves, but again, well, it smells nice, but it's kind of nice to have that out the side. This will go in the center of the table, big table, so it has lots of room on lots of sides for all of this space around it. And this is a seed pod of this beauty here. So lots of things at this time of year that are kind of, you know, different and surprising. Now, when you cut these, you want to cut always on an angle like this. You don't want to cut straight. You want to cut always at an angle for the reason that just like you wouldn't want to have the straw for the strawberry milkshake right on the bottom, or chocolate if it was actually my milkshake, right on the bottom, because when you would take the water up, or in this case the water for the plant, you would block it. So that's always why you're cutting it on an angle, and you're taking off any of the greenery so that the water stays as clean as possible for as long as possible. I don't use any preservatives or anything like that. Everything that I do is just good clean water, something clean enough that you would want to drink from it, and that's it. And then it lasts really well. So I've started to put some sweet peas in. I've got this lace flower. You can see her. Isn't she gorgeous? Love, love, love. And some shorter ones, shorter sweet peas, I should say, just to cover the bottom. Some of them are almost finished, like this pink one is just about done. But because I'm doing this for something tonight, that's fine, and I can always take it out after. So there we go. I just love these colors. And then I've got some other, oh, here's the columbine. I'm going to put her right in the middle, but maybe a little lower. There we go. There. And these ones, I can't remember the name of them, but they grow at my front door and they self-seed. And I have cut them back sort of midsummer. I can usually get a couple, 2 or 3 sets of blooms from them actually. These, Chocolate Cosmos, chocolate should be its own food group, am I right? So there, then we've got something a little bit darker, and it just gives your eye a place to kind of, nothing is all the same. You don't want it, when you're looking at a bouquet like this, you don't want to see just one thing. It needs to have some interest in that way, and contrast is that interest. So contrast could be in the color, contrast could be in shapes. This, for example, is a kind of scabiosa, and it just grows that way. And I just think she's kind of neat because she's unexpected. And then I've got some cosmos, different colors of cosmos. There we go. And oh yes, this is a nigella. There are tons of seeds in here. And so what I might do after I'm actually finished with it in the vase is just dry it, and then I have those seeds for next year. So there we go. And then some more sweet peas that I'll put kind of around the edge. Also in a vase like this where you do have that grid system, you can kind of have things stand up a little straighter if you tuck something else into that same square. That's a nice little trick. This was just kind of growing over the path, but it does give kind of an interesting, see, going to seed here. This is a lace flower. What will oh yes, these ones. This is just, usually I take all of the leaves off the hydrangea. Just leaves it, lets it go for a little longer. Tuck this one right down in the middle. There you go. There. All right, now I'll turn it around and you can kind of see where we're going. One of the tricks, hacks, whatever you want to say, that I will often use when I'm doing something like this is if, for example, so let me turn it this way, because I was working on the other side. So because you're looking at it, you can see that there's a hole here, right? But something might not even be that obvious. But if you take your camera, your phone, and just take a picture of it, ideally against a surface where it's not competing with anything behind there, it's just amazing what you will see, and it will show you one thing is too high, one thing is too much, too heavy, too this, something died. You didn't even notice you were putting a dead thing on there, and maybe you want that, maybe you don't. Here I see an aphid, there we go. The sweet peas, we're doing that this year. Oh, there's a little spider, off he goes. And that camera is just like magic in that way, because it shows you the thing that, just like a lot of times when you're working at something and you're working up close, you don't see it. But as soon as you can have an angle from something that you know, it's just that much different, right? It's just it's a set of eyes, but it's your own set of eyes. Okay, so, oh yes, some of these, I thought these would be lovely in there. These sedums, lovely, right? Lovely color. So take off these waxy bottom leaves and try and just put it here in that hole that we were just looking at. No, it's not short enough. It's hard to tell in this one. There we go. A few more leaves off. There we go, that's better. And I think I'll put something in at the bottom. And this one actually would be kind of perfect for that. This is oregano. It's it's really highly scented. I think it's an ornamental. I wouldn't eat it, and I actually bought this one at the garden center, and it was not in with the culinary herbs, so I would not be eating this. But it does just kind of help there. See how that fills that in nicely without competing in any way with the color. So that's this here. And yeah, let's see if I've got anything else. Oh yes, maybe one of these other kind of scabiosa. This is Black Knight. I love Black Knight. This is the first one that I started growing when I started growing scabiosa. Love, love, love. Now, these are all status, And some of them are almost going to seed, but I think they'll give us some nice height and a little bit of movement in there. And they don't, I mean, after they're finished in this phase, I could do what I'm going to do with the other is just dry it, because they're beautiful dried. What do you think? Too tall? A little bit too tall, isn't it? Let's see. Let's try that. Yeah. That has a bit more of a relationship to everything else. Tuck it down in there. Nope. There we go. There. Okay. And then this other color. The wonderful thing of being on a little urban flower farm, you can just cut stuff and it's just part of the organic nature of the thing. Everything will be happier when there's lots of organic stuff in the soil. Okay, so I think that's going to do it. And you know, the white, I think I might add, oh yes, I will. I'll add this phlox. This phlox is a perennial phlox. Love her. I'll just estimate that she needs to be slightly shorter, and I'm going to tuck her in here. There. Yeah. All right. So I'll turn it around so you can see. I think there are a few gaps, aren't there? The other thing that you might want to think about too is when you're arranging for an event, you're doing a dinner or something, if you do this the day before, things will sort of start to move or relax or bloom or shift and change. So the thing that you make doesn't stay exactly how you finished it, just so you know. And I think that's quite lovely. I think that's sort of the organic nature of the whole experiment, really, is just that things kind of move and change. I'm going to get a leaf that's just out of sight from the camera, but I think, whoops, I think it's needed to cover this up. And yes, I will put that in there. It's a strawberry leaf, and they go fantastic colors. I've used them in June, I used them in the fall, and see, brings in a little color, doesn't compete. Love. Anyway, little fun from the early fall, late summer garden, and yeah, anyway, thanks for joining me.